Howdy folks, I'm vexing vernal equinox, violently velcroing velvet vestibules.
I'm Amber.
And here are more velvet vestibules for us to velcro. Don't know why we're doing this, but apparently we just do. Oh, and folks, we have a live stream coming up on Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We hope to see you then. So let's get started. All right, folks, and our first letter is titled, My Fiance's Peanut Butter Sandwich Made Me Cry Today. My fiance's peanut butter sandwich made me cry today. Today, after work, I, a 29-year-old female, went to the grocery store for ingredients for Korean barbecue for tomorrow, since me and my fiance, a 29-year-old male, are both off of work tomorrow, and I want us to eat something special for both getting through another 48-hour work week. Well, while waiting in a long line at cashier, I'm around the 20th in line, no kidding, I decided to eat the peanut butter sandwich. I asked my fiance to pack for me. Well, earlier this morning, while we were both getting ready for work, as I was preparing our breakfast, I told him to please pack me a peanut butter sandwich for my lunch at work. He has free lunch at work, and my work doesn't. Well, I almost cried when I first bit into that peanut butter sandwich. I'm so upset. It has the tiniest amount of peanut butter on it, and I can't even taste it. Maybe I was just so hungry that it makes me angry, but every day I cook for us. Before I go to work and after I go to work, I cook good food for us. This already happened before. I already told him before, and I already asked him before to please put more peanut butter on my sandwich, because maybe that's how he likes his sandwich, but not me. I even showed him how much I wanted, and when this first happened. It feels so dumb to be this upset over a peanut butter sandwich. I'm walking home carrying a heavy grocery bag, lettuce, stuff for Korean barbecue, and our supposed dinner tonight, fried fish, charred eggplant with tomato, green mango, onion, and salted egg. But I'm too mad to cook now. Please help me. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I definitely understand OP's frustration there. It sounds like she just wanted something to eat and then had a sandwich that was basically just bread. And it sounds like she's had this conversation with him before. And so, yeah, it's just kind of like a bad situation of a long day. And the one thing she's kind of counting on then is just a huge disappointment.
Yeah. Well, it also sounds like she might not even have gotten to eat lunch at the normal hour, and she got off of work and was trying to get some groceries, and then kind of is, hungry at this point in time, and, this peanut butter sandwich just was not cutting it for her. And I can understand her frustration in the situation, especially when she said in the past, please put more peanut butter on my sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like he's not listening or accounting for her needs. And it sounds like OP feels like it's very one-sided because she makes all this food and he can't be even bothered to make a little peanut butter sandwich for her the way she wants it.
Yeah.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for starting a silent auction for the last slice of pizza during a first date? So I was on this first date last night at a local Italian spot. The conversation was actually decent, but there was this weird tension because we both clearly wanted the last slice of pepperoni pizza. Instead of doing the awkward, no you have it dance for 20 minutes, I decided to make it interesting. I took a napkin and I wrote $1 on it and I slid it across the table like a secret agent. She looked at me like I had grown a second head, but then she smirked and grabbed her own napkin and wrote $2. We went back and forth for about 5 minutes until the quote-unquote bid was up to $15 and a promise to buy the next round of drinks. I ended up winning, but I actually made her pay the $15 to a cat charity on her phone right there at the table before I ate the slice. I thought that it was a hilarious way to break the ice and handle the awkwardness, but she texted me later saying that I was weirdly competitive and that I made her feel like she was in a business meeting instead of a date. My sister says that I'm being total jerk and that I probably intimidated her, but I think that it was just a top-tier social experiment. So tell me, Reddit, was this a fun icebreaker, or did I just bid my way out of a second date? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think OP understands how auctions work. Like, the highest bidder then pays for it. So if you were paying for that slice of pizza, you would have been the one to donate the $15.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have had the slice. Or if she was the highest bidder, then she got the pizza slice. But how is it fair that You make her donate $15 and then eat the pizza in front of her?
I feel like this was just a heads I win, tails you lose situation. I think that OP wanted the piece of pizza and was going to use whatever excuse they could to get the pizza. And I think that this was just poor taste on their part to do something like this. And I do agree, like, having this whole social experiment that they were doing was just kind of weird. Because if they're both eyeing the pizza, I think the fair way to approach it is to say, well, who had the most pizza, right? Because pizza is cut into 8 slices.
Mm-hmm.
So why did the person who not, got the fewer number of slices didn't get the extra slice, you know?
Yeah, or they could have just cut it in half if one person
Mm-hmm.
has a bigger appetite or something, but it seems very strange that he would handle it this way
Yeah.
always.
So I think that OP probably just bid themselves out of a second date if they want to know the answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Clueless, but not the jerk. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know that I fully agree with that.
clueless and the jerk.
Yes, that's more like it.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Still Using the Baby Name I Told My Sister that I was going to use, despite her using a variation of it first? I'm a 35-year-old female, and I had my first daughter in September. While I was pregnant, my sister, a 38-year-old female, was also pregnant with a boy. In reality, she was pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl, but thought that it would be fun if it was a surprise for everyone. Well, during that time, I told her that I had planned to name this baby after our mom, Colette, and my husband's mother, Coral. Both names start with Co, and I think Coco is an adorable nickname. She told me that the name that they picked was a surprise, and they didn't want to reveal it until the baby was here. Lo and behold, her twins are born in August. Everyone is super surprised that it's twins. She names them Cole and Let. And I didn't think too much of it, except that it was really cute and sweet that she clearly named them after our mom. When my daughter was born, I followed through and I named her Colette Coral. We almost exclusively call her Coco. My sister is very annoyed that I followed through with a name and brings it up all the time how ridiculous it is that the 3 of them practically share a name. It's also confusing if full names are used. I will admit that. Despite me telling her my entire pregnancy that this was the name that I planned to use, I even had stuff made with a name. She ensures that everyone knows that her babies were born first. Honestly, if she had told me months ago that she had planned to use Cole and Let, I probably would have pivoted, but she never said anything. Heck, even if she told me that she was using Cole, I would have reevaluated. Currently debating legally swapping Coral and Colette simply to keep the peace. But that feels an awful lot like admitting that I'm the jerk in the first place. So am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, this was your baby name first, and if she decides to use it, then she can deal with the confusion.
Yeah, I mean, I think that OP made it very clear about what name that they were choosing. And they have had this picked out for the whole pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
They had, things already made with a name on it.
Yeah, well, and using family names is always going to be a little dicey. Like, there's always a chance someone else is going to want to use that name. So you just have to kind of accept that your kid's name may not be unique.
I think the sister kind of took the immature way out of this and, kind of was like, oh, I'm just going to spring this on everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to deal it first, and then
Yeah.
OP's going to have to change.
Mm-hmm. So I think that she just didn't expect OP to stick to the name, and that was really what it boils down to. And I don't think that it's all that confusing, especially since she's called Coco in general, which I think is going to basically become her name because, like, Coco is going to be one of those kinds of nicknames that I think sticks. So she might hate it if she gets to school and kids make fun of her or something like that. But it also might be one of those things where kids love the name and don't make fun of it, and she really gets endeared towards it. Right? It's hard to say. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk? Husband wants to help his mom. Open to being called the jerk here, genuinely just want an outside perspective of the situation. My husband is a 31-year-old male and I'm a 30-year-old female, and we have 2 very young kids. I'm on maternity leave at the moment and look after the house, cook, and just all the jobs you would expect from a housewife. Except when I do the work, I still do all those jobs plus working a full-time job exactly the same as him. To put into perspective, he has never done a load of washing in the 8 years that we've lived together. However, I don't want to turn this into a bash husband for being severely undomesticated and instead get some opinions on the following. He went to his mom's house today as he needed to feed the cat as everyone is away. He's not been there in years. The kids have never been there for one reason. It's a health hazard. Mother-in-law is a hoarder and also apparently is allergic to a bit of housework, and the grime has just built and built. Not one surface is clear or clean. He phoned me to show me, and it's disgusting. He wants to spend a few days there and just clear it out to help her. I understand when you're in a rut, and sometimes you need help digging out. But I'm firstly of the opinion that even if he did sort it out, she would go back to her ways in 0.1 seconds if she's not the one to come to this conclusion herself and instigate the change. But the question of am I the jerk comes out in here. This has really made me mad, as why does he feel like it's appropriate to just get wrist deep in her rubbish and dirt when he's not once cleaned a toilet in his own home? Just because I break my back to keep the place clean. But at the same time, I know it's his mom and that he wants to help, but I can't help but be annoyed and effectively tell him no. And just to add, he has 2 adult siblings who live there and don't do anything to help. We also paid for someone to go around last year, several hundred, to clean the garden as it was unfair on the pets. Am I the jerk for being mad that he wants to help her with this? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, I think there's a few things going on here. One, OP is absolutely right that, if this is a hoarding situation, what she needs is mental health care. Unless the underlying issues are addressed, like the house is immediately going to return to filth. But secondly, yeah, it does seem very I can understand OP's frustrating that he is more than willing to get elbows deep in grime to help his mom, but won't lift a finger to help OP.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, I think everyone's question here is why are these 2 adults living in the house not pulling their weight? Well, 3 adults, right? I mean, maybe they've all inherited hoarding tendencies, but at that point in time, that just means that stuff is going to accumulate at a rate of 3 times, essentially, right? So even if OP's husband does come through here and clean it up, he's going to be battling against 3 adults who have no desire to change entropy, rather, right? So I understand him wanting to help take care of his mother, but it's not his responsibility at this point in time, right?
Right.
Unless she asks for the help and, the siblings ask for the help, then really they just have no motivation to change. And in fact, maybe they'll continue just to, do this because there's just no incentive. Every once in a while, somebody's going to come along and clean for them. So I don't know. I just don't think that this is a wise idea on his part. And I can understand OP's frustration here that he isn't willing to do anything around the house at all. But then when it comes to his mom, he's like, oh, let me go and clean up her place that's a complete mess.
So I think it's probably about time that they start having some deeper conversations and, redistribute the housework.
Yeah.
Because OP's husband is perfectly capable of cleaning and should be pitching in around the house.
Yeah.
Even if OP was a stay-at-home parent, which OP isn't, he still should be helping to a degree proportionate to how much time he's working. But the fact that they are both working and OP is doing literally everything, that's not a fair deal, and it really needs to change.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Going In Early or Staying Late at My Job to Help My Coworkers? Am I the jerk for not going in early or staying late to help my coworkers? So I took this job as a part-time to make extra money while my kids were at school. I work a very strict 8:30 to 1:30 because that's the time that I need to drop off and then pick up my children. It's an office job, and I have my own sub-department where I don't get any help from anyone else, and the work is pretty easy, so I usually just get done early. Now, the issue is that because I'm young and a good worker, a lot of older people ask me for help. There is this older woman in particular who often asks for my help and in finishing reports, as she works 2 jobs and it's just too much for her and she doesn't get it done in time. I don't mind helping, and I've covered her vacations before. However, I'm getting a little fed up because a lot of the older women in the office have made snide remarks about me needing to work more to help them. Well, when I tell them that I only work part-time for my children, they were remarking that there are plenty of mothers here that sacrifice to provide for their family. I'm lucky enough to have a husband who makes enough that I don't have to do that. I also like to spend time with my children and have energy with them at the end of the day. So there's this day last week in particular that a lot of people in the office were freaking out that something wasn't going to get done in time, and they all needed all hands on deck to come in early to help. When I say early, I mean 3 a.m. I respectfully declined, and I am now receiving a lot of hostility. I am trying to take it lightheartedly and continue about my job, but the side eyes and snide remarks are really getting on my nerves. For reference, I came in early, about 5:30 or so. If I had to come in at 3 with the others, I wouldn't have even been able to help regardless, because the part that they needed my help with wouldn't have even been ready. I've brought that up, but they say that it would have been a sign of solidarity with the team, as some people, I guess, didn't even get to sleep because of the second jobs. Am I the jerk here? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk. You are being paid to do a specific job. I'm assuming people aren't getting paid to come in ridiculously early. If they want to come in ridiculously early, that is on them, but it is not on your prerogative to come in early out of solidarity. It seems like they're just jealous that OP has a different life circumstances than them, and they're taking that frustration out on OP, but that doesn't mean that OP has to change her life. They just need to work on themselves.
So I think really what it boils down to is that OP absolutely needs to start writing in the extra hours, right, and getting compensated for any extra hours that they put in. And I think that these people need to understand that OP isn't a salaried worker. Like, sometimes as a salaried worker, you might have to come in and do extra work or something like that. Technically, you're supposed to get compensated with extra, time off and stuff like that. And I know that a lot of salaried workers do have some flexibility in their schedules to kind of control that time. But at the end of the day, OP doesn't sound like they're a salaried worker. They sound like they're a part-time, and that they're probably getting paid hourly wages, and that these people need to understand that this isn't OP's job. With as hostile as this work environment is, I would go to HR if I were OP. I would document everything that people are saying to them, and either they can quit and find another job, or they can start reporting these things to HR and get these people to be quiet about this, because this isn't a good or healthy work environment. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the astronaut say to the star?
Well, the astronaut said to the star, "Oh my goodness, it's sucking me in with the gravity. I can't get away. Please."
That sounds more... No, go ahead.
That's about it. Then the message cut off.
Stop spacing out.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of stars that... I mean, I guess if it's massive enough.
Yeah, a star would drag you in. So they're an astronaut, right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know, you made it sound more like a black hole than a star.
Well, I mean, Earth will suck you into its gravity too.
Well, yeah,
right?
but it's not like an oh no situation. So,
Well, maybe they were out of fuel. I don't know. I'm not this astronaut. I'm just telling you what happened. And I have Earl Grey. Oh, and folks, today is Space Case Day, so I guess you can space out with the best of them. So go ahead and do that. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy wonderful Tuesday, spelt TWO. I don't know why I said wonderful. I was going to say terrific, but I don't know what happened. My brain glitched. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on baby names.
don't steal other people's baby names.
I mean, that's probably a good idea. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.